On behalf of Sheriff Carmine Marcino and the men and women of the Lee County Sheriff's Office, I want to thank everyone for joining us today at the school board chambers. We have some exciting stories to tell everybody today, so we will get to that in just a minute. Again, thank you for being here. And for those watching us live on the school district's YouTube channel, welcome and thanks for joining us. I'm Tony Shaw. I'm the director of the Do the Right Thing program. And again, we're very happy that you could join us today for our April ceremony. We have just one more for this school year next month. So once we get started with these exciting stories, we'll do that in just a minute. But first of all, we're going to do our Pledge of Allegiance. And today that's going to be led by Edward Baez.
Can everyone please stand up? I pledge allegiance for the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can you please sit down?
You may be seated. Thank you, Edward. Please sit down, everyone. I want to begin the ceremony by acknowledging the School Board of Lee County. Chairperson Debbie Jordan, who's joining us today. We'll introduce her in just a minute. Also, Vice Chair Mary Fisher, representing District 1. Betsy Vaughn with District 6. Melissa Giovanelli, District 2. Chris Patrica, District 3. And Gwinnetta Gittens, District 5, as well as Kathleen Morgan with District 7. Also, Dr. Ken Savage, the Acting Superintendent of Schools. We appreciate all you do for our Do the Right Thing program. Let's give them a round of applause. Also to my right and representing Sheriff Marcino today is Lieutenant Paul Walsh with our Youth Services Division. He's got a little tickle in his throat, so he's not going to say anything today, but he will join us for the trophies and their certificates. Thank you, Lieutenant Walsh. Also, you see people taking pictures and in the white shirts that helped you sit down today and set everything up, the trophies, the certificates. That is our civilian support unit, and we couldn't put these on without them. So, again, a big help. Thank you, civilian support unit. And also the lovely lady taking pictures is Beth Shell with the Lee County Sheriff's Office. And Tiffany Wood and Heather Turco are in back helping us with the YouTube broadcast today. So thank you all, as well as Dave Alexander and Emily Emmerich with the Lee County School District. Thank you for helping with today's broadcast. And speaking of the broadcast, if you look at the bottom of today's program, you will see the YouTube address. It's youtube.com/Lee Schools TV. So those of you that are here today, if you want to go home and watch the broadcast of today's ceremony at any time, day or night, you can simply log on to youtube.com/Lee Schools TV and subscribe to the school district's YouTube channel free of charge. So we encourage you to do that. And again, as I mentioned, we're delighted today to be joined by Debbie Jordan. Ms. Jordan is the board chair for the Lee County School Board and represents District 4. Let's have a round of applause for board chair Debbie Jordan.
Good afternoon. I am so humbled to be here. This is really exciting when you look around the room and you see so many faces sitting up here. I just cannot thank you enough for who you are and to the parents who have raised such wonderful children. But on behalf of my colleagues and myself, we appreciate each and every one of you, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you very much. I also want to mention our the support we get from the business community. Do the Right Thing does not use tax dollars. We rely on businesses and organizations to support the buying of the trophies and the swag bags and the book bags and everything that you get today. And we want to give a shout out to our principal sponsors for the Do the Right Thing program. They are Lee County Electric Cooperative and Alliance Financial Group. So let's have a round of applause for our principal sponsors. And we're here today again to honor some outstanding students who have really stepped up and made a difference at their schools. So let's get started. Our first award winner today is Mia Batista. Let's have a round of applause for Mia Batista. Mia attends Manatee Elementary School. Her principal is Diane Sherman, and school resource officer is Deputy Chuck Worf. And those with Mia can please come forward and we will share her story. Mia Batista is a third grader at Manatee Elementary. Her school resource officer, Deputy Chuck Worf, writes, I would like to nominate Mia Batista for the Do the Right Thing award on behalf of her teacher, Miss Dransfield. According to Miss Dransfield, Mia is an absolute joy to have in class. She's always willing to help, whether it's cleaning up or setting up for the next lesson. Mia is always ready to lend a hand. Also, Mia enjoys helping her classmates if they are struggling with their work. Mia is a model student, always willing and eager to help her teacher and her classmates. And for this, I nominate Mia Batista for the Do the Right Thing Award. Mia, we're so proud to be honoring you with this award. Keep up the great work. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up, we're going to be honoring two students together, John Vargas Martinez and Edward Baez. Let's have a round of applause for John Vargas Martinez and Edward Baez. John and Edward attend G. Weaver Hips Elementary School, where they're both in the 4th grade. Their principal is Dr. Deborah Noss, and school resource officer is Deputy Michelle Henson. And those with John and Edward can please come forward and we'll share their story. School Resource Officer Deputy Michelle Henson writes, John and Edward were leaving the restroom area. As they walked into the hallway, they noticed a $20 bill lying on the floor. John and Edward immediately looked for the owner of the money, but were unsuccessful. They turned the money in to school principal Dr. Noss, who notified me. I was able to locate the owner. It was a very busy morning at school because it was picture day and there were classes running around everywhere. Due to their kindness and honesty, the student that had lost his money was able to purchase his school pictures. John and Edward displayed leadership, compassion, honesty, and responsibility. Both boys set an amazing example on how to do the right thing. John and Edward, you certainly did. You really saved the day for that boy who lost his money. Thank you. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Jocelyn Itsep. Let's have a round of applause for Jocelyn Itsep. Jocelyn attends Orange River Elementary School. Her principal is Casey Sterrick, and school resource officer is Deputy Alan Bryant. And those with Jocelyn can please come forward. Jocelyn is a 4th grader at Orange Road Elementary. Teacher Lindsay Dowdy writes, Jocelyn is a role model in our classroom. She is kind and respectful to adults and students. Jocelyn gets along with everyone and can solve problems effectively. In class, Jocelyn keeps her priorities on her schoolwork and does her best at all times. I can count on her to be honest, respectful, and responsible no matter the situation. Jocelyn carries herself to the highest standards of citizenship and is a pleasure to have her on our campus. Jocelyn, we appreciate you keeping your schoolwork a priority and for being so kind to everyone. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up is Melvin Garcia Tovar. Let's have a round of applause for Melvin Garcia Tovar. Melvin attends Orange River Elementary, where he's in the 4th grade. Those with Melvin can please come forward. Teacher Lindsay Dowdy writes, Melvin is a leader in the classroom. He works well with others. Melvin makes sure his classmates are included in activities in the classroom and at recess. If someone is hurt or having a bad day, Melvin can be seen helping them or checking up on them. Melvin goes above and beyond to reach his academic goals. He shows maturity by completing extra assignments outside of class to increase his reading comprehension. I can count on Melvin to do the right thing even when no one is watching. He shows maturity by completing extra assignments outside of class to increase his reading comprehension. He's a true role model for other students. Melvin, thank you for going above and beyond and for always thinking of others first. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Eduardo Cruz is next. Let's have a round of applause for Eduardo Cruz. Eduardo attends Orange River Elementary, where he's in the 4th grade. And those with Eduardo can please come up front. Teacher Melly Trellis writes, Eduardo has had some personal hardships recently, but has continued to work hard and really focus on school. He has maintained A's and B's during these challenging times. On top of that, Edward is completely and incredibly honest and kind and has a growth mindset and is also a great teacher to other students in our classroom. You can tell he has a really big heart and always cares for others. He is an amazing friend who loves to play hard and work even harder. Eduardo, thank you for being so amazing and having a big heart. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Rashaan Miller is next. Let's have a round of applause for Rashaan Miller. Rashaan attends Orange River Elementary, where he is in the 5th grade. And with those with Rashaan, please come up front. Katie Buckingham writes, Rashaan is a spectacular student who was our Carson Scholarship winner this year. He always takes it upon himself to help students in and out of the classroom. Recently, I had a student who was not sure how to complete a task, and Rashaan stepped up and asked if he could pause what he was doing to help the student out. He handles all difficult challenges with ease and even keel. Additionally, Rashaan is involved in the Gentlemen's Club, Science Club, and choir. Rashaan's bus driver recently reported she witnessed him helping a pre-K student across the street to get to the bus stop. She further advised he is constantly looking out for the younger students. Rashaan, keep caring for others and leading by example. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Andre Machado Orta. Let's have a round of applause for Andre Machado Orta. Andre attends Gateway High School. His principal is Nikita Watson, and school resource officer is Deputy Chris Capitelli. And with those accompanying Andre today, please come up front and we'll share his story. Andre is a sophomore at Gateway High School. Assistant Principal April Thompson writes, Andre was assigned to welcome and give a tour to a new student. The new student is from Columbia and has a disability that requires them to be in a wheelchair. Andre welcomed the student and went the extra mile to invite and include the new student to sit with him and his friends at lunch. The new student's guardian called Gateway High School after his very first day to inform us how wonderful of a day he had and that this was because of Andre. Teacher Anna Bessel writes, Andre has been my go-to student with another student when he needs help. He makes sure everyone feels welcome and knows the rules. Andre is a great young man who is committed to his school and to his community. Andre, thanks for being an ambassador for your school who makes everyone feel welcome. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is proud of you. Next up is Karina Scarberry. Let's have a round of applause for Karina Scarberry. Karina attends Hancock Creek Elementary School. Her principal is Dr. Denise Phillips Luster, and school resource officer is Deputy Kevin Regtout. And those with Karina can please come forward. School Resource Officer Deputy Kevin Regtout writes, Karina came to me with information that another student had brought some contraband to school and was offering to share with others. She then made the courageous decision to help the other students by notifying an adult who could intervene. Karina explained that she has learned that contraband can be hazardous to your health and has made many others sick. She did not want this to happen to anyone at her school. After talking with Karina's teacher, I learned that she is a positive role model for other students at Hancock Creek Elementary. She's always kind and caring, strives to get along with her classmates, and is willing to help her teacher and classmates whenever she is needed. Please accept this nomination for a truly brave young lady who is an excellent example of what it means to do the right thing. Karina, thank you for being concerned for your classmates and doing what you knew was right. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next is Michael Lee. Let's have a round of applause for Michael Lee. Michael attends Varsity Lakes Middle School. His principal is Dr. Scott Lee Master, and school resource officer is Deputy Robert Rabbit. And those with Michael can please come forward. Michael is an 8th grader at Varsity Lakes Middle. Principal Lee Master writes, Michael is a wonderful young man that goes out of his way daily to do the right thing. Michael makes it his mission to make sure students that are shy, quiet, or new always feel welcome. Staff members have noticed Michael also including these students in sports activities. When asked about Michael, staff member Shelby Vick said, Michael has been observed opening doors for teachers and anyone that is carrying something and struggling. Michael has also improved his grades from quarter 2 to quarter 3, raising his grades in 4 subjects. We are very proud of Michael for his kind acts and many examples of being a super role model for others. Michael, you're a wonderful candidate for the Do the Right Thing. We're proud to honor you. Keep up the great work. Up next is Jaden Torres. Let's have a round of applause for Jaden Torres. Jaden attends Varsity Lakes Middle School, where he's in the 8th grade. And those with Jaden can please come up front. Principal Lee Master writes, sometimes in life we have superstars around us and don't even know it. We don't know it because the person is extremely humble and will not talk about themselves or share their accomplishments, but rather will go out of their way to not be noticed. Jaden Torres is exactly this person. Jaden has a perfect 4.0 grade point average for the quarter, is a star baseball player, volunteers at the Buckingham Little League concession stand, and also helps work on the baseball fields. Jaden will move out of the way to let younger students through the crowded hallways. As I mentioned, most don't know about all of the great things Jaden does because Jaden does not seek attention. Jaden, we have noticed and appreciate your work hard and be kind mindset. Jaden, we know you don't like this attention, but you're going to get it today anyway. Thanks for leading by your actions. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is quite proud of you. Alexandria Belton is next. Let's have a round of applause for Alexandria Belton. Alexandria attends Mirror Lakes Elementary. Her principal is Amy Boback, and school resource officer is Corporal Chad Heineman. And those with Alexandria can please come up front. Alexandria is a 4th grader at Mirror Lakes Elementary. School counselor Rachel Wiley writes, Alexandria met me and opened up about an issue she was having with a peer who she was trying to be friends with, but realizing that the friendship was not very positive for her. I encouraged her to be respectful to the peer and taught her how to set boundaries, not only with this peer, but in life. Alexandria immediately started working to set positive boundaries with the peer. A few weeks later, I was working with another student in her class with a peer issue, and the student told me that they were trying to set boundaries like Alexandria had taught her to do. My heart swelled with pride to hear that not only was Alexandria using the skill in her life, but was sharing it with another. Then I received an email from a teacher in regard to another peer. The teacher was impressed that the student was working to set boundaries with her friends as well. As a counselor, there is nothing more meaningful than seeing a student being able to overcome their own obstacles and then sharing that knowledge with others. I am so proud of Alexandria. Alexandria, we're all proud of you. Thank you for sharing what you've learned with others. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Joseph Cunningham is next. Let's have a round of applause for Joseph Cunningham. Joseph attends Bayshore Elementary School. His principal is Ben Osman, and school resource officer is Deputy Kelsey Waldrop. And those with Joseph can please come forward. Joseph is a first grader at Bayshore Elementary. Teacher Brittany Youngjung writes, Joseph is a model student at Bayshore. He is hardworking, caring, and respectful. In class, Joseph gives his best effort no matter how hard the task at hand. He can be counted on to support other students who need help and are always willing to step up and take the lead. On the playground, the other students gravitate toward Joseph because he encourages everyone to play and is willing to share and teach others new games. When someone isn't sure what to play, Joseph is the first to step up and suggest an idea. He uses his manners at all times and is an integral part of our Bayshore community. Joseph, thank you for being the leader your teachers and classmates can count on. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Next up is Avianna Grigsby. Let's have a round of applause for Avianna Grigsby. Avianna attends Three Oaks Elementary. Her principal is Tammy Lee Master, and school resource officer is Deputy William Weaver. And those with Avianna can please come forward. The whole family today, that's nice. Avianna is a first grader at Three Oaks Elementary. Teacher Angela McCone writes, Avianna Grigsby is such an exceptional student. Ava lights up the room with her smile each and every day. She has been a dear friend to a classmate who has struggled with emotions and some outbursts earlier in the school year. As a class, we've learned a number of different strategies to use to get us to the green zone when we're in the blue, yellow, or even red zone. Ava has a knack of showing her friend calm down strategies when needed. She definitely is a true friend. Her mother shared with me the other day that after school, Ava came up to the car after dismissal and asked her mom if she could buy her classmate a gift. She told her mom that this student has become a good friend and she really enjoys helping him out. Her mom had tears in her eyes and drove right to the store. Ava picked out something she knew would brighten her friend up. When she gave him the gift the next day, not only did he light up with happiness, Ava also had the biggest smile on her face knowing that she is making a difference. Ava has the biggest heart and has been such a blessing to my classroom. Ava, what a wonderful thing you did for your friend. Keep up the good work. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Jasmine Martinez is next. Let's have a round of applause for Jasmine Martinez. Jasmine attends Tice Elementary. Her principal is Sharice Trent, and school resource officer is Deputy John Druin. And those with Jasmine can please come up front. Assistant Principal Katie Riemenschneider writes, this quarter, Jasmine increased all of her grades, leading her to be recognized for making the Tice Honor Roll. Jasmine is also being recognized for demonstrating a Florida Department of Education state-recognized learning gain in math. In addition, her teachers report that she is actively participating in class, is making great choices, and being a friend to others in school, especially as a reading buddy to a first grade student. Jasmine was also selected to serve as a TICE cadet in SRO Druin's new cadet program. Only top candidates were selected for this new club. On top of this, Jasmine was faced with a difficult and potentially dangerous situation where she was able to react quickly and calmly, utilizing the support of TICE adult staff. As a result, she got to safety. Jasmine displayed compassion, strength, and courage beyond her years. As she walks through the halls, we see a beautiful, smiling, happy young lady, and we are all so proud of her. Jasmine, congratulations on your quick thinking and for being such a well-rounded and respected student. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next was Bruce Thomas. I just got a call from Bruce's grandmother that he's a little under the weather today, so we will have a private ceremony for Bruce Thomas at his school when he will be able to make that. So, up next, we're going to have Jaden Rodriguez. Let's have a round of applause for Jaden Rodriguez. Jaden attends Lee Virtual School. His principal is Dr. Martha Iovine. And those with Jaden can please come forward. Jaden is a 7th grader at Lee Virtual School. Teacher Christina Kraus writes, I had the pleasure of teaching Jaden in his 7th grade class. Jaden is new to Lee Virtual because of the pandemic. Due to the many challenges he has faced during the pandemic, Jaden has excelled. Out of my 300 students, Jaden has stood out since day one. His motivation and drive is one of a kind. Jaden has impressed me with his ability to articulate about different concepts and texts and his passion for reading, writing, and creative expression, both in and out of the classroom. Jaden is very polite and respectful and always participates in our discussions. He is always on time for live sessions, asks questions, and is not afraid to stand out. He has excelled in the virtual setting and is truly a standout individual. Jaden, we appreciate your drive and passion. Keep excelling at what you do. The Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Up next, we're honoring 3 students. I do not believe 2 of them were able to get here. Jean Sebastian Beldoran, Sandler Pierre, and James Laboy. I know James is here. Come on up. Let's have a round of applause for James Laboy. The 3 boys attend 6 Mile Charter Academy and are in the 7th grade. Their principal is Samantha Fields, and school resource officer is Deputy Lee Cavalli. And if those with James could please come forward. School Resource Officer Deputy Lee Cavalli writes, recently students Jean Sebastian Beldoran, Sandler Pierre, and James Laboy located a note on a chair in the hallway outside of the main office. The note contained a bomb threat. The students immediately located a school staff member and turned the note over to him. Because of these 3 taking immediate action, they turned the note over to a staff member, and the person who left the note was able to be quickly identified. The suspect was located, and the threat proved to be false. Their quick thinking prevented a school evacuation and significant disruption of the school's end-of-day procedures. Jean Sebastian Beldorn, Sandler Pierre, and James Laboy, thank you for taking such quick and decisive action during a scary moment. The Lee County Sheriff's Office commends all of you for doing the right thing. And our final award today goes to Kinsley Brereton. Let's have a round of applause for Kinsley Brereton. Kinsley attends Bonita Springs Charter School. Her principal is Carissa Carroll, and school resource officer is Deputy Chris Nebel. And those with Kinsley today can please come forward. Principal Carissa Carroll writes, Kinsley is receiving this nomination because she took swift action when she saw a female student on the floor of the restroom in need of emergency services. Kinsley told the student she was getting help and quickly exited the restroom, and went to the nearest classroom to get the attention of an adult instead of going all the way back to the end of the hallway to the classroom she came from. Once notified, this teacher was able to use the classroom phone to call for help, and our administrative team and SRO were able to get the student in need immediate medical help. The student has since recovered from this medical episode and is back in school. And we have Kinsley to thank for her quick action that may have saved a life. We are so proud and grateful to have Kinsley represent our student body as she demonstrated that she is not only Gator strong, but so smart too. Kinsley, thanks for your quick thinking during a very stressful and dangerous event. Your actions assured that this story had a happy ending. And the Lee County Sheriff's Office is very proud of you. Again, remember to subscribe to the Lee County School District's YouTube channel, and you can watch repeats of today's and any other ceremonies that we've done this school year. For anyone that would like to participate in a group photo, I would encourage you to hang on, and we'll take that in just a minute. But finally, I want to thank everyone today that attended live and is watching us on the school district's YouTube channel. Thank you for being here, and once again, let's give our students one big final standing ovation. Thank you, everyone. We're just going to get a couple of group photos, and then you want to take some individual